All right, let's go over here. Push this button, push that button. Yeah, there we go. Put this over here, so keep an eye on that. Okay. Test 1 2 1 2. Okay, coming in loud and clear. That's good. So, hello everyone. We are going to be opening today a box of Secrets of Strixhaven boosters. So, I recently went down to my LGS and got a couple boxes for myself because I took a look at the spoiler list and things looked pretty freaking sweet. It's just a pretty well pushed set. So I'm pretty happy that I skipped the last set to kind of like save up for this one because this one is looking pretty promising. So let's see here. What do we have first here? So we got this little card insert that comes in the box. Basically goes over the draft archetypes. So you got Silver Quill, Prismari, Witherbloom, Lorehold, and Quandrix. Those are the 5 different skills, or schools, I mean. Silver Quill is an aggro deck. Prismari is all about casting big spells. Witherbloom does the thing it usually does. It um, plays with the graveyard, gains life, uses life as a resource, that kind of thing. Lorehold, very interesting. They do something different with Boros, other than the usual just equip dudes and attack plan. They actually play around with the graveyard and with exile a lot, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. And Quandrix, those are the math nerds. Those are all about getting dudes with incremental value and fractals and things like that. It's a pretty cool twist on the blue-green strategy. So that's the first thing that comes in the box. So aside from that, you have the 30 booster packs. Each pack, you notice on the front of the box here, says Mystical Archive card in every pack. So every single pack that we open is going to have a card from the Mystical Archive, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get this off to the side so that we can actually focus on the good stuff in here, which is the cards. So I actually also couldn't attend the pre-release for this set because I had other things going on, and also the pre-release itself was fully staffed. There was no more space for me, so I'm like, all right, you know what? Give me a take-home kit, and I'll just take the product and move on with my life. So thankfully, they had a Prismari one for me, so I took that. So let's see what we got here. So starting up from the top, we have Tenured Concoctor. It's a pretty cool troll bard. We have Send in the Pest. We'll put that in the black pile there. Honor Bound Page. This is something interesting. This is a card that has one of the new mechanics, which is a prepared spell. So this one is a 3/3 for 4 mana, does first strike, and it enters prepared. While it's prepared, you may cast a copy of its spell, doing so unprepares it. And the spell in this is target creature gets +1/+7 gains flying until a turn. Not all that too exciting for constructed, but for limited, that can be pretty decent. And it's a pretty cool twist on like the adventure mechanic. I like that a lot. Well, then we have Textbook Tabulator. Interesting card. This is another new mechanic. It's called Increment. Whenever you cast a spell with an amount of mana you spent is greater than this creature's power or toughness, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. When this creature enters, surveil 2. Another kind of draft chaff kind of card, but we need draft cards for a set to be successful because constructed is not the only format that we play. Some people, and a lot of people, just play um, sealed and draft. I know quite a few people that literally only play those formats. I think they're a little on the weird side, but teach their own. Some people like Commander and only Commander. Some people like Standard and only Standard. So it's only right that you um, play to the limited players as well, because Magic is played in many, many different formats. Okay, here's a rare pack. we have Mana Sculpt. 3 mana, counter target spell. If you control a wizard at an amount of colorless equal to that mana, equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell at the beginning of your next main phase. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is mana drain, isn't it? Because that's the same thing that mana drain does. It's just it's stapled to a cancel rather than a counterspell this time. That's actually really damn strong. I like that a lot. And then our Mystical Archives card from this pack is Bitter Triumph. I notice that a lot of the cards from the bonus sheet or the Mystical Archives sheet in this set are all standard cards, which is really fantastic because I'm one of those people who only play standard. So seeing those special treatments of cards in standard really makes me happy. I don't think I've seen this one yet. This is Stirring Honormancer. So it's 4/5, Rhino Bard. When this creature enters, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of creatures you control. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. That's not too bad. We got an island, and a fractal is our token from this pack. Pretty cool. Let's go to our next pack. Don't worry if you join the stream late. We're going to be at this for a while because there are 30 packs to go through. All right, we got Noxious Newt, Ancestral Anger, Masterful Flourish. This is kind of cool. I like this card. Because 1 black mana, target creature you control gets +1/+7, gains indestructible this turn. There's a lot of different versions of this card, but the fact that this is only a single mana and instant speed, pretty sweet. We have Ascendant Dust Speaker, a Landscape Painter, Inkling Mascot, Diversion Equation. Oh, this guy's pretty cool. I like this one a lot. So this one is return up to X target instant and or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand, exile Diversion Equation. So this is kind of like a mega regrowth for a lot of instants and sorceries. So if you're playing an all spells kind of strategy, you can just go, I'm just going to just scoop up a bunch of cards at the end of my turn. Great for a control player. Key roll, history buff. Then we have Proctor's Gaze. Pretty cool. This is interesting. I saw this one before, and I read it before. I want to make sure I'm reading it right. Return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. So it's a bounce spell for any non-land permanent, and it's also ramp. Pretty cool. A little expensive, but it's a pretty cool effect. Poisoner's Apprentice. We have Stirring Hope Singer. This card's pretty cool. I saw this one before too. It's 3 mana, 1/3, flying and lifelink. It has a repartee. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. This is so good for a swarm deck. We've got Sleight of Hand. Sleight of Hand's a really, really strong card. I like this card a lot. And the fact that it has the special treatment is even better. Zealous Lorecaster, a very pretty swamp, and an elemental token. Very nice. I should have brought a trash can in here with me, because I'm going to be unwrapping a lot of packs here. That's okay. We'll deal with that later. Alright. Glorious Decay. Very nice. Sneering Shade Rider. We have Eager Glyph Mage. We have Run Behind. That's a pretty cool bounce spell. We got Terramorphic Expanse. Comes out in every single pack. For every single set, there's a Terramorphic Expanse. Charging Strife Knight. This one's interesting. 3/3 for 3. Haste. Discard a card, draw a card. So it's a looter and a 3/3 haster for only 3 mana. That's a pretty cool card. Silver Cloak Charm. Very good card. Matter Bending Mage. Eternal Student. I just like this card. This card is pretty cool. It's 4/2. Zombie Warlock. You pay 2 and exile this card from your graveyard to create two 1/1 white and black Inkling creature tokens with flying. That's a pretty cool card. We have, here we go. We have Exhibition Tidecaller. This card I think is going to be pretty good. It's a 0/2 for only 1 mana with Opus. It says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 3 cards. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, that player mills 10 cards instead. That card's going to be cool. Knockout Maneuver, very cool card. I really like the cards featured in the Mystical Archives this set. Very cool. I feel like the wrappers for the packs themselves feel more flimsy these days. I remember them being a little bit more sturdy, but these ones just kind of just fall apart. Mindful Biomancer, interesting. Olna Alley Shopkeep. We have Shattered Acolyte, very cool card. 2/2 lifelink, pay 1 in sacrifice, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very versatile card. Quick Study, that's another reprint. Draw 2 cards, instant speed. Goblin Glassray. Render Speechless. This is kind of a cool card. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, that player discards that card. Then put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature. It's a little expensive, but it's a cool card. And it also triggers Repartee. Embrace the Paradox. Stress Dream. Okay, I have not seen this one yet. So 5 mana. Stress Dream deals 5 damage to up to 1 target creature. We'll get the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand, and the other on the bottom of your library. That is almost Prophetic Bolt. Almost. Then we've got Lunaret's Favor. Infusion. When you cast a spell, copy it if you gained life this turn. You may choose new targets for the copy. Target creature gets +2/+4 until end of turn. Wow, that's a pretty good pump spell if you're playing some game life. Ooh. Lorehold Charm. Nice. Choose one. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact of their choice. Return target artifact or creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or, creatures you control get +1/+1 and trample to on a turn. Pretty decent. Oh, here we go. This is a Wild Growth Archaic. So you can either pay 2 colorless or 1 green per pip to cast this. It's a Trample Reach with Converge. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. Whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with X additional +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of colors spent to cast it. Okay, so that just makes other guys big. Pretty cool. I'll put that in the green pile. Ooh, Dismember. Now that's a great card. So you notice there are Phyrexian mana symbols in this card. So Phyrexian mana means you can either pay 2 of the color, or you can pay 2 life. So this is either costs 1 black or 1 2 life black, or 1 and 4 life. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. Really good card, can handle almost any kind of creature, and you can use life to pay for it. Actually, this needs to go over here. Yeah, Dismember is a very good old card. Forum of Amity. And we have an Inkling token. Okay, next up we have Tackle Artist. Then we have Tenured Concoctor. What's that do? Vigilance. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Infusion. This creature gets +2/+0 as long as you gain life this turn. Pretty decent draft card. Cost of Brilliance. We have Alan Historian. Procrastinate. I actually really like this card. This card's pretty cool. It's tap target creature and put twice X stun counters on it. So you can just stun down something for like 5 or 6 turns by paying just like 3 or 4 mana. It's a pretty cool card. Again, draft chaff, but I like the design space on that. Pest Mascot. We have Garrison Excavator. Essence Knit Scholar. We have Foolish Fate. Then we have Harsh Annotation. We have Vicious Rivalry. As an additional cost to cast this spell, pay X life. Destroy all artifacts and creatures with mana value X or less. Really strong board wipe. Pick Your Poison is our extra card of the pack. Oh, and then we have Practiced Offense. So this pack came with an additional rare in it, because this is a foil. For the plus encounter each creature target player controls, target creature gains your choice of Double Strike or Lifelink until end of turn, and then flashback of 1 and a white. Pretty strong, pretty versatile card. Titan's Grave, and a Fractal token. That was actually a pretty good set, or good pack, I mean. Okay, next pack, we have the Burog Banemaker. We have Rapier Wit, Landscape Painter, Strife Scholar, Efflorescence, Visionary's Dance. This one's a little weird. It's 7 mana, so really big casting cost on this. Create 2/3/3 blue and red elemental creature tokens with flying. And you can pay 2 and discard this card. Look at the top 2 cards of your library and put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So if you have this early game, you can just kind of like cycle this or super cycle this away. Otherwise, you can make 2 little dudes out of it. Fractal Anomaly. We have the Strixhaven Sky Coach. Then we have Root Manipulation. Wisdom of the Ages. This is a big spell. 7 mana to cast this. Sorcery. Return all instant and sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Exile Wisdom of the Ages. That is a nutty card. Really expensive, but you get your entire graveyard of instants and sorceries back to your hand, and you don't have to discard anything. That is a wild spell effect. I like that a lot. Oh, here's something cool. Silver Quill the Disputant. This is one of the Elder Dragons of the set. 4/4 for 4 mana. Flying and Vigilance. Each instant and sorcery spell you cast has Casualty 1. Now this is interesting, because Casualty was one of the mechanics from New Capenna. And basically, it means as you cast that spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 1 or greater. When you do, copy the spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. That is a very cool spell effect. Shared Roots, very cool card. Then we have a foil Shattered Acolyte, a Spectacle Summit, and an Elemental token. Pretty cool. Oh, I dropped it. Okay, next pack, we have Tome Blast. Deal 2 damage to any target with flashback. We have Mindful Biomancer, Olna Shopkeep, another Shattered Acolyte, Quick Study, Biblioplex Tomekeeper. This one is kind of interesting. It's 4 mana. When this creature enters, choose up to 1. Target creature becomes prepared, or target creature becomes unprepared. So clearly a card for draft. This is not strong enough at all to be in standard. Dual Tactics. Then we have Orisa, the Tide Choreographer. It's a Merfolk Bard for 5 mana. It says, this spell costs 3 less to cast if creatures you control have a total toughness of 10 or greater. When Orisa enters, draw 2 cards. So it's clearly a card that you want to be playing late game once you already have an established board. Snooping Page. We have Petrified Hamlet. When this land enters, choose a land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Lands with the chosen name have tap, add colorless, and this taps for colorless. So this basically nukes a manland or like a fountain port or any of those other kinds of lands without actively destroying the land. It just kind of polymorphs it into something useless. That's kind of interesting. Then we have Together as One, 6 mana sorcery, Converge. Target player draws X cards. Together as one deals X damage to any target. You gain X life, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast a spell. That's actually kind of cool. It does a lot. So it draws cards, it deals X damage to a target, and you gain X life. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Then we have Deduce, very cool draw spell. Then we have a foil Masterful Flourish, a Forest, and a Fractal. Very cool. All right, let's get into our next pack here. Okay, starting up the pack, we have a Noxious Newt, Barag Banemaker, Rapier Wit, Landscape Painter, straighten that out. We have a Strife Scholar, Elemental Mascot, Render Speechless, Sundering Archaic, 3/3 for 6 mana, Converge. When this creature enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast this creature. You can pay 2 to put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. Interesting, little too expensive. Abstract Paint Mage. 2/2. At the beginning of your first main phase, add blue-red. Spend this mana only to cast instant and sorcery spells. That is pretty cool because it kind of enables you to play your bigger spells later in the game. Soaring Stone Rider. Never seen this one. It's 3 mana, 4/3 Elephant Cleric. As an additional cost to cast this spell, exile 2 cards from your graveyard or pay a colorless and a white. Flying and Vigilance. Okay, so this is actually pretty decent because this acts as an enabler for your Gorehold exile synergies. Okay, next we have a special treatment on Quandrix the Proof. 6/6 for 6 mana, Flying Trample Cascade. Instant and sorcery spells you cast from your hand have Cascade. Very, very sweet art on that. And then we have a special treatment Abrade. Very pretty. Muse's Encouragement, a Swamp, and a Copy. Okay, next pack we have a Tackle Artist, Tenured Concoctor, Cost of Brilliance, Allen Historian, Elemental Mascot. We have Page Loose Leaf. This is a weird card. So it's a 0/2 legendary artifact creature construct. Only 2 mana. You can tap it to add colorless. It says Grandeur. Discard another card named Page. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an instant or sorcery card. Put that card into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this is kind of cool because it's a 2 mana rock that allows you to pitch additional copies for a better spell. This is a pretty cool effect. I like that. Eternal Student. Nope, wrong pile. We have Artistic Process. Luwen the Exchange Student. Tester of the Tangential. 1/1 increment. At the beginning of combat in your turn, you may pay X. If you do, move X plus and plus counters from this creature onto another creature. That's pretty cool. So it gains counters as you cast higher spells, and then you can move them. Shattered Sanctum. Nice. This is one of the new rare lands. So this taps for either a white or a black, and it enters tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. So this is what we call a slow land, as opposed to a fast land. Stargaze. We have a foil Rapturous Moment. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards, then add double blue, triple red. Pretty sweet card. We got a Swamp and an Elemental. Nope, dropped my pack. Let's see if I can open this one correctly instead of just shredding the package. There we go. That's better. Okay, next up we have Shopkeeper's Bane. And we have Pull from the Grave. The first Debater. He's a masterful debater. We have a Spellbook Seeker, a Rebel Rouser, Rancorous Archaic, Artistic Process, Luwen, another Tester of the Tangential, and we have Aziza, Mage Tower Captain. Interesting card. So it's 2 mana for 2/2. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may tap 3 untapped creatures you control. If you do, copy the spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. We have Improvisation Capstone. 7 mana to cast this. It says, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile cards with total mana value 4 or greater. You may cast any number of spells from among them without paying their mana costs. And it has Paradigm. Paradigm is another really interesting mechanic for this set. It says, then exile this spell. After you first resolve a spell with this name, you may cast a copy of it from exile without paying its mana cost at the beginning of each of your first main phases. So once you play this one time, you get to cast this again during your first main phase, every turn for the rest of the game. That is a wild spell effect. Kind of reminds me of Miracle, except better. Oh, hop to it. That's a new reprint there. And we have Ennis, the debate moderator. Then we have Swamp and a Pest token. Yoop. Oh, careful there. I'll be bouncing my camera around. Alright, next up is Zealous Lorecaster, Oracle's Restoration, Send in the Pest, Dig Site Inventory, Textbook Tabulator, Stadium Title Mage, Potioner's Trove, Rapturous Moment, Transcendent Archaic. What's this one? So it's 6/6 for 7. Avatar, Vigilance, Converge. When this creature enters, you may draw X cards, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast a spell. If you draw 1 or more cards this way, discard 2 cards. So it's a draw spell. And you can draw a maximum of 5 off of that, which is not that great when you're spending 7 mana for it. But it is also stapled to a 6/6 Vigilance, so it's not that bad. Additive Evolution. Oh, here is a great card. This is Grave Researcher. 3 mana, 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. Then, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, this becomes prepared, and comes with Reanimate as its prepared spell. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to that card's mana value. So, Reanimate is a fantastic old spell. Like, it's still used in, like, Legacy to this day. But the great thing about this is you can take a creature from any graveyard. It doesn't have to be yours. And also, bear in mind the fact that it nukes your life total to cast Reanimate, but if you're playing this in like green and black, there's a lot of life gain in those colors, especially in this set. So this would not be a terrible card to get access to. Then we have Return the Favor, another great card from the archive. We have Alan Historian, an island, and last is a copy. Okay. Next pack, we open with the Melancholic Poet. Stone Docent, uses Encouragement, Expressive Fire Dancer, Inkling Mascot, Page Looseleaf, Arcane Omens, Stress Drain, Limeret's Favor, another Warhold Charm, and we have Great Hall of the Biblioplex. It taps for a colorless. You can tap it and pay a life to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery. You can pay 5. If this land is not a creature, it becomes a 2/4 wizard creature with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and it's still a land. That's pretty decent. It's like, this is on its own just a great card for casting spells, but the fact that you can animate it into a creature later on makes it even better. Duty Beyond Death, Textbook Tabulator. We have a foil full art forest, and this little token card. It comes with prepared tokens, +1/+1s, and stun counters. Okay, coming up next, we open with the Goblin Glasswright, Shopkeeper's Bane, Pull from the Grave, Rehearsed Debater, Spellbook Seeker, Pest Mascot, Stadium Title Mage, Leech Collector. We have Sanar, the Unfinished Genius, Chelonian Tackle, Traumatic Critique, X blue red. Traumatic Critique deals X damage to any target. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. That is a fantastic card. But it can be used as removal, or it can be reused as a finisher, because you can point this at your opponent's face for X mana. Really cool card. And it also has draw 2, discard 1. That's so cool. I love it. Then we have Feed the Swarm with some really cool art on it. Quill Blade Lauret, Paradox Gardens, and a Fractal token. Okay, up next we open with Procrastinate. Then we have Zealous Lorecaster, Oracle's Restoration, Send in the Pest, Dig Site Inventory, Visionary's Dance, Zimone's Experiment, Borrowed Knowledge, Mika, Reader of Ruins, Choreographed Sparks. This one's kind of cool. So it's only 2 red mana to do this, and this spell can't be copied. Choose one or both. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Copy target creature spell you control. The copy gains haste, and at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice this token. This is a fork for spells or creature spells. Really, really solid. Hardened Academic. Red white, 2/1, Flying Haste. Discard a card. This creature gains lifelink until end of turn. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Wow, that's actually really good. Really good. Ooh, Stock Up. Very nice. This is such a great card to get in the Mystic Archive. We have a foil Tome Blast, and also a foil Spectacle Summit, and an Inkling. Okay, up next we open with Efflorescence. Then we have Melancholic Poet. We have Stone Docent, Muse's Encouragement, Expressive Fire Dancer, Embrace the Paradox. Primary Research. What's this? When this enchantment enters, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. At the beginning of your end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn, draw a card. That's not bad. Not great, but that's not bad. Living History. 1 in a red. When this enchantment enters, create a 2/2 red and white spirit creature token. Whenever you attack, if a card left your graveyard this turn, target attacking creature gets +2/+0 to end the turn. Oh, that's pretty cool. Paradox Surveyor. We have Mind into Matter. Then we have Maelstrom Artisan. 3/2 for 3. Haste. This creature enters prepared. Rocket Valley. Destroy target non-basic land. Oh, okay, that's actually really good. So it's a 3/2 with haste. So on its own, it's just a great attacker, and it has a land destruction spell stapled to it. That's actually really solid because it also like you can destroy a land with this, and it doesn't give the opponent the option to go and get another land when you do that. That's so good. Ooh, now this is nice. Sheldred's Edict from the Mystic Archives. Beautiful art on that one. We have a Brush Off, Paradox Gardens, and an Inkling token. Let's check this new pack. All right, what do we got here? We have Follow the Limerets, Wander Off, Big Site Inventory, Hydro Channeler, Rearing Embermare, Fractal Mascot, Dissection Practice, Snarl Song, Pigment Wrangler, Summoned Dromedary. We have Dina's Guidance. Search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand or graveyard, then shuffle. Really solid card. You can tutor up a creature and then either put it into your hand or into your graveyard so that you can then reanimate it later. Then we have a Zombify. Really sick art on that. I love that. We have Daydream. We have a white full art land and an Inkling token. I am really enjoying this set. Like, no lie. The cards in the set are really cool. Alright, next up, Wild Hypothesis. Adventurous Eater. This card is just interesting. It's a 3/2 for 3. The enters prepared. And its ability is Have a Bite. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, you gain 1 life. That's just cool. I like it. Elite Interceptor. Chase Inspiration. Bogwater Limerette. Spirit Mascot. Environmental Scientist. 2/2 for 2. When this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Oh, that's not bad. Molten Note. Sky Coach Waypoint. Graduation Day. Tragedy Feaster. What is this? 7/6 Demon for 4 mana. Trample, ward, discard a card. Infusion. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice a permanent unless you gain life this turn. That is wild. This pairs so easily with the Demon Annex card, Unholy Annex. This is such a great card for that deck. Then we have Burst Lightning, fantastic. I actually played this card, so that's a great thing to pull. Then we have a Foil Giant Growth, very cool. Spectacle Summit, and a Fractal token. All right, let's see what we got next. Next up, we have Heated Argument. Studious First Year. Melancholic Poet. Rapier Wit. Deluge Virtuoso. Imperious Inkmage. Abigail, Poet Laureate. Impractical Joke. Fractal Tender. Arnon, Deathbloom Botanist. A lot of people are really high on this card, and for good reason. It's a 2/2 for 3 with Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control with power or toughness 1 or less dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This is perfect for the Golgari Pests deck. Next we have Steal the Show. Choose one or both. Target player discards any number of cards, then draws that many cards. Steal the Show deals damage equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard to target creature or planeswalker. So this is either a Wheel of Fortune, or a really strong removal spell. Either way, pretty cool card. Requisition Raid. A foil Essence Scatter. Spectacle Summit, and a token card. Just fix up our piles a little bit here. They're getting a little unruly. Grab this one for sure. There's a lot of multicolored cards in this set. I really like that. Wilds of Eldraine had a ton of multicolored cards too, which is great because I love multicolored cards. They're so much fun to play with. Okay, next up. Rubble Rouser, Wild Hypothesis, Adventurous Eater, Elite Interceptor, Chase Inspiration, Potioner's Trove, Abigail, Impractical Joke, Fractal Tender, Arnin, Pensive Professor. This one's really cool. 0/2 for 3 mana with Increment. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on this creature, draw a card. Such a solid card. Draws so many cards. Locust Spray, Eager Glyph Mage, a Forest, and an Inkling token. Get this pack open. There we go. Okay, next up we have Follow the Limerets, Wander Off, Dig Site Inventory, Hydro Channeler, Rearing Ember Mage, or Ember Mare, I mean. Then we have Rancorous Archaic, Bogwater Limeret, Leech Collector, Sanar, Thelonian Tackle, Joined Researchers, very nice. And even nicer, we have a Spell Pierce, hell yeah. We have Tackle Artist, Titan's Grave, and an Elemental token. I think this won't be much longer. We're getting about halfway through the box now. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we open with Textbook Tabulator, Heated Argument, Studious First Year, Melancholic Poet, Rapier Wit, Grapple with Death, Pursue the Past, Rabid Attack, Prismari Charm, very nice. Surveil 2, then draw a card. Prismari Charm deals 1 damage to each of 1 or 2 targets, and return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Very, very solid charm. Probably one of my favorite of the charms. Summoned Dromedary. Oh, here we go. The Emeritus of Conflict. I've been looking for this. 2 mana, 2/2. First strike. Whenever you cast your 3rd spell each turn, this creature becomes prepared. Perfect for a Spellslinger deck. And its prepared spell is Lightning Bolt. 1 red mana, deal 3 damage to any target. This card's going to get so much play. Okay, next up we have Disdainful Stroke. We have a foil Sky Coach Waypoint. There. We have a very pretty full art island and a fractal token. That Emeritus of Conflict is a huge pull for me. I'm so happy with that. All right, let's see what's next. All right, next up we have Barrage Barrage, Cheerful Osteomancer, Johnny's Response, Essence Scatter, Unsubtle Mockery, Pursue the Past, Grapple with Death, Social Snub. This card's pretty cool. So 3 mana, it's in white and black. When you cast a spell while you control a creature, you may copy the spell. Each player sacrifices a creature of their choice. Each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. This is a really strong spell. Quandric's turn. Very nice. Tablet of Discovery. Oh, that's a red card. Not a colorless. Then we have Molten Core Maestro. 1 in a red, 2/2 Menace. Opus. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast this spell, add an amount of red equal to this creature's power. So strong. Giant Growth. We have a foil Molten Note, Swamp, and a Fractal token. Okay, next up, Seize the Spoils. Hungry Graphalon. Last Gasp. Interjection. Vanishing Betrayal. Terramorphic Expanse. Growth Curve. End of the Hunt. Flow State. Startled Relic Sloth. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Emeritus of Ideation. This is like one of the chase rares from this set. This is so cool. 5 mana, 5/5, Flying Ward 2. This creature enters prepared. Whenever this creature attacks, you may exile 8 cards from your graveyard. If you do, this creature becomes prepared. Ancestral Recall is the prepared spell. This is so stupid. Target player draws 3 cards for 1 blue mana. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I'm so happy to see it. Helping Hand. Foil Ajani's Response, a Plains, and a Fractal. You gotta excuse me. I'm just really, really happy about that pull. Because like I've been really on red and blue lately, and to pull the Emeritus of both of those colors, really good stuff. Okay, next up. Expressive Fire Dancer. Follow the Limerets. Burog Bonemaker. Stone Docent. Terra Fractal. Inkling Mascot. Scathing Shadelock. Brood Sloth. Practiced Scrollsmith. Brush Off. Oh my gosh. Okay, this box is good. This is a good box. I like this. Because I just got Flashback. Like, this box is made for me. Flashback. 1 red mana. Target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains Flashback till on a turn. The Flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. This basically turns your graveyard into a second hand for you to just pull from. Like, counter spells that you've already used, you can use them again. Removal spells, draw spells. This is such a strong card. But not as strong as this one. That's a Cyclonic Rift. I might have to see if someone needs this. That's a hell of a pull. We have a foil Sneering Shade Rider, a Forum of Amity, and a Fractal. These last few packs are actually pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Okay, next up. Seize the Spoils. Hungry Graphalon. Last Gasp. Interjection. Vanishing Betrayal. Imperious Inkmage. Terra Fractal. Charging Strife Knight. Silver Quill Charm. Matter Bending Mage. Arc of Hunger. Royal Treatment. A foil Studious First Year. A foil Forum of Amity. And tokens. Okay, got 5 packs left. We're almost through it. Alright, let's get to it. Barrage Barrage. Cheerful Osteomancer. Ajani's Response. Essence Scatter. Unsubtle Mockery. Spirit Mascot. Stirring Honormancer. Infirmary Healer. Archaic's Agony, Arcane Omens, Erode, quite possibly the best removal spell in the entire set. 1 white mana, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Such a strong card. Oh my god. Bulk Up, Hungry Graphalon, Fields of Strife, Elemental Token. I'm thinking they saved all the heat for the bottom side of this box. Deluge Virtuoso, Expressive Fire Dancer, Follow the Lumerets, Burog Banemaker, Stone Docent, Fractal Mascot, Aberrant Mana Worm, Lecturing Scorn Mage, Ham Observant Sequencer, Stirring Hope Singer. Yeah, they did. Because here's the Professor Delian Fell. 5 mana for 4, or 4 mana for a 5 loyalty planeswalker in Golgari. His +2 is gain 3 life. His 0 is draw a card and lose 1 life. His -3 is destroy target creature. And -6 is you get an emblem with whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. That is a very solid planeswalker. Then we have a foil, not foil, shared roots. The foil was the Noxious Nude, Paradox Gardens, and Elemental Token. Very cool. Yeah, these last few packs have been real good. Alright, we're at the bottom of the box now. These are the last 3 packs. Alright. We open with Glorious Decay. Nearing Shade Rider. Oh, that goes over here. Eager Glyph Mage. Run Behind. Tome Blast. Mage Tower Referee. Elemental Mascot. Campus Composer. Stand up for yourself. Mind Roots. Nita, Forum Conciliator. I've never seen this. It's a 2/3 for 3 mana. Whenever you cast a spell you don't own, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. 2 and sacrifice another creature. Exile target instant or sorcerer card from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast it this turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. If that spell will be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Oh wow, that's actually really solid. That's pretty freaking cool. I like that. We have Repel Calamity. Then we have Render Speechless, Fields of Strife, and Tokens. Alright. Second to last pack. Noxious Newt, Ancestral Anger, Masterful Flourish, Ascendant Dust Speaker, Landscape Painter, Wilt in the Heat, Bibliopex Tomekeeper, Topiary Lecturer, Killian's Confidence, Homesickness. This is kind of a cool card. It's pretty expensive, but it's pretty cool. So it's 6 mana, instant. Target player draws 2 cards. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Put a stun counter on each of them. That's a pretty cool effect. Then we have Wild Growth Archaic. Very cool. Ooh, Preordain. Nice. Scry 2, then draw a card. We have Forum Necroscribe, Fields of Strife, Elemental. Okay, here it is. Last pack of the box. Just hoping it's something good. Alright, here we go. Muse's Encouragement, Strife Scholar, Efflorescence, Wander Off, Honor Bound Page, Elemental Mascot, Divergent Equation, E-Roll, Proctor's Gaze, Poisoner's Apprentice, Geometer's Arthropod, Monstrous Rage, hey, that's banned, Thunder Drum Soloist, Foil Forest, and an elemental token. So there it is. That is everything that comes in a Secrets of Strixhaven Play Booster box. We had quite a few packs that were pretty lackluster, and also quite a few packs that were really freaking sweet. So I'm pretty happy overall with what we got out of this box. So now I need to sort all this stuff and figure out what kind of singles I need to get to fill out my decks. So that's going to be it from me. I thank you very much for hanging out with me today, and I will catch you all next time. So until then, take care of yourselves.